going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna do a comparison on the new Quickjack lift system, which was newly introduced to the market. This is the 5000TL model, and I'm gonna compare it to the old model that I was using for the past year, which is the 5000SLX. So we're gonna go over some of the differences, similarities, etc., and we'll see what exactly is different about these two lifts. Both of these lifts look pretty much the same to the untrained eye, but there are some key major differences, but I'm going to focus on the similarities. So when you buy this lift, setup is exactly the same as with the older version, the SLX model. You basically do the same thing to set it up. By the way, I did a video explaining how to set the original system up, so go check it out below. Let's focus on the dimensions first. So the initial frames between the old and the new models are actually the same. For the 5,000 pound version, they're about 70 inches in length, 11 in width. The size of the frame has not changed, which is a good thing. If you don't need a bulky lift, this is perfect for you. Lifting capacity is still 5,000 pounds as with the old version. Now if you start looking closely on each frame, you'll start noticing, in comparison to the older SLX model, each cylinder, the hydraulic cylinder, is much larger than in the prior model, which caused the minimum spread that you could spread your blocks in between to be less than on the prior version. On this model is about the minimum spread between spread points is about 37 inches, where on the old model it was 31. Not that it matters all that much. Most people are actually looking, or more cars should I say, are longer than they are shorter, and the jack points are actually spread more farther apart. So that's not really an issue that most people are going to be concerned with. The maximum spread lift point is at 60 inches, just as it was on the older SLX model, so that really hasn't changed. Now there is a big difference in the power unit. I say big is because I'm mostly referring to the weight of the power unit, because the old power unit was like a tank. It used to weigh about 35 pounds because it had a metal tank. Now this new power unit has about I would say weighs about 15 pounds. It has a plastic tank, so that's probably where most of the weight savings are, which is a nice thing, because this was a pain to move anytime I wanted to move it somewhere, because there was a lot of weight that you had to shuffle around. So that's a nice improvement over the old unit. Now I have mentioned that the new version has bigger hydraulic cylinders. Well, what that translates into is the higher lifting height. That's a nice thing. That's why anybody, I would assume, would upgrade to this model. Now how they were able to achieve that is with the bigger hydraulic cylinders, and these arms here are much longer as well. Before actually lifting the car and show you how high the new lift lifts, I want to give you a tip whether this will apply whether you own the old version or the new one, which make your life a whole lot easier with this lift system, and that is installing these little caster wheels on each side of the lift. And what those will enable you to do is basically move the each frame basically with your fingers. See how effortlessly I can move each frame, because each side has caster wheels which do not interfere in any way with actual lifting procedure, and I'll show you that in a second. I got these off of Amazon. I'll put a link down below if you want to get these, because these are perfect size. They actually are the same width as the actual frame rails, so it's very discreet. And all you do is you could just basically install them with some zip ties, and that's all that's needed, because You only need them to move the frame, to slide it around. You don't have to haggle with it on the floor, and because these are pretty heavy, they're about 58 or something 70 pounds if I remember correctly. So these wheels make life so much easier. So let's slide them right under the car and start lifting and show you the new height. We have the car up in the air at maximum position. This is again on a 2-inch block, so these shorter blocks. Before on the shorter blocks were 18, and now we are at 21 and a half almost. So slightly about 3.5 inches in height increase, which if you worked on any car before, you'll know 3 inches is huge. I mean, you could pretty much do anything under the car. Not that you weren't before, but now you're gonna be much more comfortable than with the prior older SLX model. And as you saw when we were lifting the car, the caster wheels do not interfere with the whole lift process at all, basically, because they are placed on these movable arms that lift up. So as soon as the frame reaches the jack points, these are basically off the ground already, and the central portion, which holds the weight, is supporting everything. So this is really a genius invention by someone out there. I know there's quite a few videos showing the caster wheel modification to the Quickjack, so props to that person. It makes the whole lifting and moving process a whole lot easier. And plus side is you could still use the original wheels as well if you wanted to just lift it and hold it on one side. So it's a win-win for everybody. This is the height I'm usually using the most with these Quickjacks. The actual maximum lifting capacity or lifting height per Quickjack is actually on these is I believe 24 inches. I'm sure you could get 25 or 26 even if you double stack the blocks, which you can do. But for example, before on the old lift it was 21, which this lift does the same thing without any extra stacking. So it's less work. You go higher and you got more room to work. I've owned the Quickjack for about a year now. The prior model, I just got this one, but no matter which model do you have, whether it be the new one or the old one, it's a no-brainer. It makes your life so much easier if you want to do anything related to your car at your home. I mean, look at how high off the ground the car is. I mean, there's infinite things you could do with that type of lifting capacity at home. And the best part about it is all of this is portable. You could take it literally anywhere. So to me at least, the Quickjack is a no-brainer. I highly recommend it to anybody considering buying it. Now, if you do own the SLX model like I did, is it worth the upgrade? Well, that is debatable. I mean, to me, it was a no-brainer. I mean, I got lucky because I was able to sell my SLX model and basically purchase this one with not much of a price difference. So that kind of worked out. I mean, it's the 3 inches that it provides, especially if you're using a slider under the car, because the sliders usually take about 2-3 inches off your working room. So this basically you will regain that, and I think that it's worth the hassle to upgrade to the new 5000TL model. Like I said before, if you end up getting one of these, make sure you do the caster wheel modification. That will make your life so much easier. With that being said, I think I covered everything. Hopefully that was helpful. If it was, give a like, consider subscribing to the channel, comment down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.